Grassroots Supporters Initiative. Is it okay for us to start with this number? Can somebody talk to me? Pamela, if you're online, can you chat us up if we can kick off with this number? Okay. Are you ready? Technical? Okay. Mindset, orientation, and entrepreneurial thinking. Mindset, orientation, and entrepreneurial thinking. Put it on the screen. Okay. All right. Mindset, orientation, and entrepreneurial thinking. I'm not going to spend too long today just to ensure that we already lost a lot of time, but I apologize for that. Um, we will, it's fine, it's great. Most of you listening to me, you're here in different forms. Some of you are business people, some of you are graduates, some of you are still in school and they are doing business as part time. Some of you too are artisans learning how to do business. But the truth is that when you do not understand this journey, you are going to have a lot of problems on the road. You're going to have a lot of problems in the journey. So, this introduction is to take your mindset so that you can understand where you are. The mindset of an entrepreneur is not the same as the mindset of a businessman. They are two different things. They don't rhyme. There is no correlation between them. So I need you all to pay attention while I take you through this mindset orientation. I want to start with a quote from a man called James Allen. James Allen. He wrote, and I quote, a human being is not wealthy because of what he has, because of what he knows. A human being is not wealthy because of what he has, but because of what he knows. Please pay attention. And what you're doing right now, you have been pursuing riches. As business people, you're producing, pursuing riches. But as an entrepreneur does not pursue riches. You pursue wealth. That's the first point I want you to note. An entrepreneur does not pursue riches. What you pursue is what you pursue wealth. Now, wealth and riches are two different things. They are not the same thing. And as an entrepreneur, what you are heading towards is how to make wealth, not how to be rich. Now, pay attention. If you check in your village, your town, in your church, wherever you're coming from, there are lots of people some years back, they were very rich. Today, they are poor. What happened? They were not wealthy, they were rich. They were not wealthy, they were rich. Why is it so? There are two sources by which you program your position. One is you have what we call the mind bank and the physical bank. You have what we call the mind bank and you have what we call the physical bank. Now, the physical bank is where you put all the monies you have. You have account in Zenith Bank, you have account in Sky Bank, sorry, not Sky Bank is called UBA, Union Bank, and all these banks. So you have your millions there. That's what you call the physical bank. Now, the mind bank is your brain. So riches from the outside don't originate but from the wealth originates from your brain. That's why whenever you talk about entrepreneurship, somebody is looking at an idea. They want to know whether you have an idea. It's not about what you have presently. They are talking about an idea. Please pay attention because this is very, very important. Now, pay attention to this. Assuming I look at this people online now, let's say King Zion or Jennifer, I don't know who you are, I'm just seeing your name on TikTok. And I give you 3 million naira today. Do you know that in the next 1 hour, you could be attacked by armed robbers and that money could go in 24 hours? That is the fertility of the physical bank. But now, if you come to a skill center like O2 or most of the skill centers, and you learn a skill, probably you learn how to make cosmetics, you learn how to bake, you learn how to design a website. Nothing can take that away from you. Even when you're sick, even when you are old, it will remain. Show me a man who cannot bounce back from his problem, and I will show you a man who has nothing in his head. People who don't recover easily from problems are people who their mind banks are empty. Because if your mind bank is full, you can always bounce back. It's not difficult for you to return, to bounce back to progress, to bounce back to fruitfulness. But those people who you see that have challenges in life and they don't get back, those are people that have nothing, absolutely nothing in their heads. So this is what entrepreneurship will do for you. Now look at the next slide. This one is from Dennis Kimbro. He said, unlike other resources, wealth evolves from the thought process of the individual, from his or her flow of ideas. Wealth revolves from the thought process of the individual, from his or her flow of ideas. Now, this is also another difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. You could have that tailor near your house or that supermarket near your house. He's been there for the past 15, 20 years in that 12 by 12 shop making clothes for you, or that small supermarket where you go every day to buy your Milo, you buy your groceries. He has them. But in the past 10, 15 years, he has added nothing to that. But now watch this. You see a very young girl, she comes out from school and she starts parading herself as a fashion designer. In the next 2 years, she is rich. She is driving cars, she has a very good bank balance, she's living well, she's even exporting. So what is the difference? The difference here is simply the thought process and flow of ideas. And where does it come from? It comes from the fact that the businessman doesn't have what you call business acumen. He doesn't have it. The entrepreneur has it. What is business acumen? Business acumen is beyond experience. What the businessman has, just like the tailor and the supermarket seller, they have experience, but they lack the business acumen to take their business to the next level. This is what they lack. So an entrepreneur strives, prospers because he has business acumen. In course of this program, we're going to be talking a lot about business acumen because that is what drives entrepreneurship. We're talking about certain skills that you must have: technical skills, emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, business development, advertising, all those things. These are what you need to become a successful entrepreneur. Okay. Now, like I said to you, most of you are here today as businessmen. Our first job is to move you from thinking as an entrepreneur, as a businessman rather, to thinking as an entrepreneur. And this is what I call charms of entrepreneurship. Why do I want you to be an entrepreneur? And why do I want you to think as an entrepreneur? Charms of entrepreneurship. Charms of entrepreneurship. Okay. Now pay attention. The first one is independence. 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 Now, as a businessman, you lack independence. You lack that independence because you don't have freedom to try new things. You don't have freedom to do anything. Now, pay attention. Today, you work for 35 years. I want you to think about this. In 35 years, another man like you is dictating when you stay with your wife, when you stay with your children. He's dictating where you go on holiday. He's dictating how you do basically everything in life for 35 years. Now, after this is done, what do you do next? You find yourself in the middle of the sea. I'm not saying that working is not good. Don't get me wrong. I worked. A lot of people worked because there's also an experience that comes with working. But what we're saying is that even when you're working, think as an entrepreneur. What do I mean by that? They said for you to be stable in life, you must have three legs. Three legs. One is a regular income. The other one is a skill. The other one is for investment. So what you need to do is you set up a side business while you are working. Don't wait until you finish, you retire. Because the good news is that you may never retire. Where is Oceanic Bank? Where is Intercontinental Bank? Where is Leventis? So all those people who work there waiting for retirement are now stranded because technology is doing what? Disrupting everything. Number two, wealth creation. Wealth creation. Wealth creation. Anybody who tells you in life that by magic you can become a billionaire is a liar. There's only one way to become a proper millionaire, multi-billionaire, or a billionaire. Only one way. And what is that way? It is through wealth creation. Think about all the people today that are billionaires, all the people today who have made it big. The outside the corrupt people, these are people who created wealth. If you are not creating wealth, of course you are tied to a fixed income. You must create wealth in such a way, you must create value in some way that will help you create wealth. So when you hear that some people are trying to become millionaires or billionaires, there's no other way you can achieve that. It is only through wealth creation you can achieve that. Only through wealth creation you can. And that can only happen when you begin to think as an entrepreneur. Please, all these things is what we're going to be playing out in this entrepreneurship training. How do you develop business ideas? How do you recognize opportunities so that you'll be able to create wealth? Relationship building. Number three, relationship building. Relationship building. Now, when you do not think as an entrepreneur or live as an entrepreneur, you discover that you are living like a hermit. If you're just working and you're thinking like a worker, or you're doing business and you're doing business as a businessman, you will see that you hardly build relationships. It is the character of the entrepreneur to learn how to build relationships, because one of the fundamental principles how you can become successful in life is when your social quotient is high. What is social quotient? Is your ability to make friends, your ability to make friends, keep new people, and also keep them. So, the only thing that can help you get into this mode, if you start thinking like an entrepreneur and begin to do what? Build relationship. Number 4, control. Control. Part of the challenges people have today is that they never have opportunity and freedom to do the things they want, because you are always answerable to somebody. You do not have a way to push your ideas. You don't have control over anything in your life. So some of you have been working. How many times has it occurred to you that probably you are in office and there are some things you think should not work in a particular way? Because you do not know what to do, you just have to take it that way. So when you think as an entrepreneur, when you begin to have the mindset of entrepreneur, you know that someday you will exercise control over what you do. And this control is the only ingredients you need to push and drive your ideas to create wealth without anybody's interference. Satisfaction. Next point. Satisfaction. A businessman thinks differently. A businessman does not bother about how his or her products affect humanity. All he's interested is in how to make profits. They don't care. It's not their business whether you are struggling or you're not struggling. Let me give you a typical example. I'm sure you have bought a bottle of maybe water or candle, and to open the bottle is very difficult. Have you noticed that before? Let me use the simplest things. Do you know some companies don't even go back to say, oh, we need to change our capping equipment so that when people are opening this water, it will be easy. It's as mundane as that. These are business people. But entrepreneurs don't think this way. Entrepreneurs are more concerned about how their product and service will also benefit their customers. And above all, touch lives. A businessman does not think like that. He doesn't think like that. That's why, if you are an entrepreneur, your slogan should be what? Think profit, think humanity. Think profit, think humanity. Businessmen, think profit, let poor people die. That's businessman's slogan. Think profit, let poor people die. But for an entrepreneur, you think profit, you think humanity. Next point, continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Now, as a businessman, they do not understand that the only way they can increase their net worth is by what? Innovation. Rather, you see them employing unorthodox ways to make more money. Take, for instance, if somebody is producing a product, in the product, he will tell you, oh, this product is 100 meals, and he's selling it for 5,000 naira. Now, instead of adding probably some other products in that particular product that he's selling and increasing the price, he will reduce that meal to 85. So by the time he sells 50 cartons, he has made extra money. This is how businessmen think. They cheat. They cheat, and they have no respect for you. But an entrepreneur wants to continuously improve, because by the time you see now that, oh, these plantain chips I'm buying, or this plantain flour, they've added zinc to it, and zinc is good for my immunity, you'll be ready to pay a little bit more. So you see that an entrepreneur will he will improve. He will want to make more money legitimately through innovation and products and production. But a businessman will never do that. What they want is to cheat you. Cheat you. So when you think an entrepreneur, it helps you to improve your product. It helps you to learn new things, and also consider some of your past decisions, which will help you develop new strategies on how to run your business. As an entrepreneur, next point, it gives you the opportunity to work from home. To work from home. Before COVID came, people didn't really realize that it was easy to work from home until COVID came. So right now, even big organizations are working from home. Our children are suffering. Why are they suffering? Because our parents have not keyed into entrepreneurship. Somehow, don't blame them, because, because they have to make ends meet. Daddy salary cannot take care of the family. So both can work. But assuming mommy decides to go and learn a skill, stay at home, she will have more time for the kids. She will have more time for the family. And she will have more time to do other things outside sacrificing the future, because your children are your future. Sacrificing them just to make ends meet. So when you begin to think as an entrepreneur, you begin to realize that you don't need a posh office or a posh environment to make money. You can also work from home. Okay, go to slide 15. The next point is the opportunity for you to create your own destiny. An opportunity for you to create your own destiny. Every human being you see today believes that what he or she is doing is not what is supposed to be. They also believe that where they are today is not where they are supposed to be. Do you think I'm correct? Yeah, sure. I hope you know I'm correct. Even me that's talking to you, I don't think I've reached my full potentials. But do you know the good news? The good news is that you can be thinking about getting to your full potentials where you're not on the right platform. You cannot think about that. And when you are in a platform that does not allow you to think, that does not allow you to take control, that does not allow you to exercise your brain faculty, that does not allow you to innovate, my dear, how on earth do you think you can move from where you are to another level? So entrepreneurial thinking, the mindset of an entrepreneur is not just for people who are doing business. It is a mindset everybody should have. Whether you're doing business or not, it's a mindset everybody needs to grow. Next point, opportunity to make a difference and contribute to society. Like I told you before, this businessmen that you see, they are not good people. If you look at the screen, you will see the owner of APs. This was many years ago. I'm sure most of you heard the story when our people were stranded in South Africa. They were killing our people, calling it xenophobia. We have organizations, we have rich businessmen here, we had institutions, religious institutions. Nobody cared about these, our brothers and sisters. It took an entrepreneur who thinks profit and think humanity to spend over 300 million to go and bring our brothers back from South Africa. So this is how the mind of an entrepreneur works. That's how the mind of an entrepreneur works. Immediately you key into this mindset change. Immediately begin to think like this. Worldly things, earthly things, in as much as you need them, you discover that they are not prime until you give them away to your creator, and you also help humanity. That's how it works. Opportunity to reach your full potentials and reach impressive profits. A lot of you who are listening to me now, some of you are here because you think that you don't have a job. You went to go and learn skill because you don't have a job. Maybe they sacked you from your job, you don't have anything doing. Now you feel that as soon as I get a job in the bank, as soon as I get a job in the oil company, I will leave this entrepreneurship and do something else. Now, please listen. You can never reach your full potentials outside the scope and tenets of entrepreneurship. It's not possible that you can do that. The man I showed you on the screen, Tony Elumelu, what did he not achieve? He was the MD of UBA. But you cannot compare his profile today as to when he was the MD of UBA. So what is your aspiration? He never reached his potential working or thinking like a businessman until he came out and became a full entrepreneur, changed his mindset as entrepreneur, started thinking as entrepreneur. Today, he is known by the world. You cannot count 100 or 200 people in the world today without mentioning Tony Elumelu. In fact, some few years back, he graced the pages of Time magazine as one of the 100 most important people of that year. He only achieved that when he switched to entrepreneurship. Okay. Now, we don't have time for me to interact with you, but if you type some questions, I can see it. I'm making this live session very short because of the technical issues we had, so that we can go back and chat more on the WhatsApp platform. Please, the WhatsApp platform, we continue from there. If you have questions, please put it on the WhatsApp platform. Now, don't wait. Put it on the WhatsApp platform so that we can discuss it tonight. We can answer your questions because I don't want to drag this class because of time. All right, so I want to start rounding up now. Some of you listening to me think I'm talking philosophy, but let me be a little bit spiritual as I close this class. Now, who was if they ask you now in the scriptures, in the Bible, who was the greatest king? Who was the greatest king? His name was what? Solomon. King Solomon. And for my Islamic friends, I think it's Suleiman. Please correct me if I'm wrong. His name is Suleiman in Islam, and in Christianity, he was called Solomon. Now, why was he called the greatest king in the Bible? I want to close with this. Please pay attention. Before him, his father, David or Dawood, and other kings in the Bible, you go and read the scriptures, all they did was fighting. They were all fighting their enemies, the Amalekites, the Philistines, even this Gaza that is warring now. The Philistines were living in Gaza. So this fight has been there. This Gaza that you see today, that is where the Philistines were attacking the Israelites. So the fight has been on for a very long time. Now, when Solomon came in, he said, no, I'm going to change the trajectory. I'm not going to behave like my fathers and all the past kings in Israel. What did he do? He converted all those war routes. They had two major routes in Israel. We have the King's Highway and the Way of the Sea. So these ways were created to attack their enemies. What Solomon did was he started thinking as an entrepreneur. Instead of fighting the Jebusites, the Amalekites, he started doing business with them. He started trading with them. No more wars. Just like in Nigeria today, we waste all our resources fighting military budgets. Solomon never did that. Solomon was thinking as an entrepreneur. Remember how I started? I told you two things for me. Wisdom, the mind bank. Solomon had that wisdom from the beginning. So instead of fighting these enemies, Solomon started trading with them. Now, that was why during his reign, Israel prospered exceedingly. Israel prospered. So there's no monumental icon you see today in Israel that Solomon did not build. Is it a temple? Just name it. It's because he had enough money. He saved enough money, thinking like an entrepreneur to develop Israel. That's why this country it is the way today. The day we get a leader who will be thinking as an entrepreneur, you will see that Nigeria will look like Dubai because we have the resources to be that. That's number one. Number two, I know this one now will be a bit funny for you guys, but let me just say it. I don't have time to interrupt. So please, I need you guys to challenge me or debate with me on the platform. That's what it's all about after now. I want to say something that is very, very strange. Now, are you people aware that only entrepreneurs will go to heaven? Have you heard that before? I know that some of the pastors listening to me now say I'm a heretic, but I'll prove it to you in 1 minute. Now, 2,000 years ago, Jesus walked this earth. He walked the surface of this earth as a man, like me and you, streets of Palestine, Samaria, Bethlehem. Remember that those days, we had the high priests, we had the prophets. There were a lot of them, there are the sinners, there are a lot of religious groups. Now, pay attention. When Jesus started to choose his disciples, I didn't say half. I didn't say 80%. Everybody Jesus chose as a disciple was an entrepreneur. All of them were entrepreneurs. Why did he do that? Because what we are teaching you today, think like an entrepreneur, characteristics of entrepreneur, life as of entrepreneur, was what he, as God, was seeing in those people. Why did he make that decision? Because he knew that one day he would depart this earth and he wanted his ministry to continue. If he did not choose people like Peter as entrepreneurs, you'll be learning that because of this who had patience with them, resilient, who can take risks. These are things we'll be teaching you people. These apostles had these characteristics. That is why they were able to face persecution. And that is why you have Christianity today. So, you can see I've started from philosophy to psychology and to religion to tell you that as you are getting into enterprise, the only way you should think is think as an entrepreneur and change your mindset, have a shift. Don't think as a businessman, think as an entrepreneur. Thank you very much. Okay, that's where we will end this introductory class. I had to make it quick because we wasted a lot of time. If you have questions, actually you can talk if you want, please. You can talk. We can hear you if we have time. I can take 1 or 2 questions if you want to talk. If you want to talk, I can take. Yes, I'm reading some very sweet things here. Somebody said he's going to heaven because he's a farmer. Yes. Somebody said he's going to heaven because he's a farmer. I'm reading some of your posts here. Really. Oh, good. I like your comments. Please, if you like the class, write some sweet things. Give me some thumbs up. I would like to see that. Give me some thumbs up. Please try to write something. We love these things when you show us appreciation that you like the class. The whole class will be interesting like this. Don't miss it. This class is not a technical class. You can see that it will not be proven. So I'm waiting for you. Let's hear from 1 or 2 people before we close. Huh? Request, please. Request to talk. If you want to talk, request. Please request. Yeah, I'm reading all your posts. That's good. You all love this class. This is just appetizing. Okay, please. Can somebody request? Let somebody say something before we go. Request to speak. Yeah, I'm reading all your beautiful comments. I can see all your beautiful comments. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your comments. The most important thing is that normally, if it was a live class, I would have made an altar call to say, if you know, because what I've done now is to put the spirit of entrepreneurship into you. And from your comments, I am convinced that you have been affected by that. Yeah, you have been affected by that. Yeah, KSJ Oluyemisi, thank you so much for your comments. I can see all your comments. They are wonderful. Anybody requesting to talk? Huh? You say? Nobody. Huh? Anybody? Nobody is requesting to talk. Okay, so please go to the WhatsApp platform. Since you people don't want to talk, nobody wants to talk, and ask your questions. Now, take your first assignment. Take your first assignment. Your assignment should be on the platform. Your assignment will be on the platform. The question is why I have decided to be an entrepreneur. Why I have, please write it down. Why I have decided or chosen to be an entrepreneur. That's your assignment. Please submit it on the WhatsApp group. Why I have chosen to be an entrepreneur. Huh? Anyhow they want to write, but don't make it too long. Just make it short. You can put it in points. Just don't make it too long. Why I decided to be, you already listened to the class. You can reference me if there are other motivations, like that fish farmer now who wants to go to heaven. You can tell me you want to go to heaven. You can say you want to go to heaven. All right. Okay. So, Grassroots Entrepreneur Supporters Initiative, thank you for putting this together. Like I told you, we're going to be here for like 5 weeks every Saturday or more, depending on how the class goes. Before I close, I want to apologize for the technical hitch today. It's not going to happen again. I promise you that. Pamela Kama, the founder of this initiative, thank you so much for all the work you're doing for humanity. May God reward you. That's all I can take for today. Thank you and God bless you. My name is Dr. Emeka Onachukwu. See you next week Saturday. Please do your assignments. Thank you.